Hey guys, it's Jay here, and today's video is going to be about how to get out of a bad place in your life, how to get out of a rut. And this is a collab video with New Age Coach. I cut it up and made it into what I felt was the most important clips out of our conversation. Also, you can check it out on her channel. Link will be in the description as well. There is a lot of great content in this video, and if you are looking to improve some aspects of your life, if you're looking to improve overall, I recommend that you watch this video all the way to the end. And anyways, guys, I'll see you in the video.
What's good, YouTube and Facebook? We are back for another video with your girl, New Age Coach. You know, you gotta
soak up all that good ass energy.
Oh,
gotta
yeah.
Soak it all up. Oh my God, that's what I was doing.
All right, in today's video, we're gonna be talking about how to get over a bad place mentally, and basically, we're just gonna trying to just have a conversation, and we're just gonna do our thing. We're just gonna let it go, let it flow.
Let it flow. I'm ready. You gotta do this when you say let it flow, though. You gotta do this.
I like to do the salsa. I like to do the salsa. The first thing that I believe to help you get out of a bad place mentally is to first recognize that you are in a bad place.
100%.
Like, first say, like, I am in a bad place. Chances are, if you're watching this, then you know that you're in a bad place, so you're doing great. But if you're trying to see, like, okay, you feel like you're gonna be in a bad place, first recognize that you're in a bad place, and then that will help you. That sets the ground. So you're like, oh, okay, I'm in a bad place. I need to do something. That is the first step.
It's like if you're on a boat, you know, it's like you can be on a boat, but if you don't know where that boat is going, what's the point of being on the boat? It's that first step of awareness. You get on that boat knowing, okay, I'm struggling with this. So in order to fix this boat is going to be sailed this way. You know, you got to have that awareness.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like once you get that started, and then you can start planning out how you're going to fix that issue. What I like to do is, I feel like if you eliminate distractions like such as your phone, I feel like that is the biggest distraction that you can possibly have.
Yeah. What do you mean? Hold on, I'll call you back. What do you mean?
Yeah, wait. Oh, my bad. I had a notification going off. No, like seriously, like, eliminate distractions. Allow yourself to be alone and truly reflect on what is bothering you. I feel like that has a really big impact on how we feel emotionally, and people think, okay, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna distract myself with this, and then boom, but guess what, that problem is still there, you know.
Yeah. And you can even practice, like, being alone. That's a practice in itself. Like, this is, like you said, part one, but just practice being alone if you're not sure how to uncover what it is you're feeling. Like you said, like, it's hard to do that. So it's not like you can just automatically wake up one day and know how to do it correctly. But the more time you spend alone, you can start recognizing, oh, this weird pain in my chest that usually happens now when I'm sad. I'm correlating themes, or okay, I can actually hear what's going on in my head, and it sounds this way when I feel this way. So it's also just a practice of learning to be alone to even try to figure out what you're feeling first.
Like you said, recognizing how you feel, and the feelings that you feel. Everyone's different. Everyone has a different emotion. Everyone has something different in their life. Everyone is totally different. We all have different experiences, different childhoods, different parents. Everyone is different and significant in their own way. So what may work for me may not work for you, or you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to figure out what works for you.
Yeah. And I'd also advise too, sometimes I can get caught up in a trap of trying to, like, rationalize those feelings too. But I suggest when you're first starting out, you don't have to kind of figure out or know, like, the root of everything either. It's really just this flow, like you said, of like, okay, what does this feel like? You don't have to, like, match an attachment to it or a reason for it. It's more the exercise of just being like, okay, what is this feeling? What does this mean for me?
A lot of people, they'll go run to drugs, and they will try to just, okay, I'm going to go and hide from my feelings. I'm going to go run away. But what comes with that is no matter how much you run, it'll be right there. It'll be right behind you. It's chasing you. It is chasing you. It's like a horrible trained pit bull. It's chasing you and it's ready to bite you.
Yeah, for sure.
You can't run away. Like for me personally, I've dealt with that. I was in a bad place and I ran to drinking or smoking, and I understand that. But that really prolonged my healing process from me running away. I like, if I could go back, I would not do that. I would go back and try to find the core and the root of it.
I think it comes down to balance with that too, though, right? So just playing devil's advocate, because sometimes it can be a trap when you turn to something else to also fill that void too, right? So balance is really the core issue. And what I mean by that is I got stuck in maybe a little bit of a trap. Likewise, if I was going through an issue where I would turn to meditating incessantly or doing all of the spiritual things or trying to fill up my time with surface level things that at face value are spiritual and good for yourself and soul development. But if you're doing too much of those things without balance and without the right intention, that can also be a form of addiction or bypassing, for example, right? So I think what we're trying to promote is an idea of balance and intention and getting really to turn that attention back to you to sit with whatever feeling that is in a healthy, balanced, thoughtful way.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, everything has to be balanced. A lot of people, they feel, okay, I need to be 100% happy. But you got to remember the yin and yang. There's always the good and the bad. The bad helps you with the good. It's just as good as the bad. A lot of people are like, no, I don't want bad in my life at all. No, you need it. It builds you. It builds you up. It helps you become who you are. That bad place you're in, it's helping you and it's building character.
That's it. Integrity and character and values and gratitude too, because eventually after the breaking, there's the breakthrough, right? So you can't appreciate that breakthrough without looking back on where you bent and broke a little bit. It was that journey, it was that process that got you to the breakthrough. So you really can't have one without the other sometimes,
Another thing a lot of people need to understand when it comes to getting out of a bad place is understanding that this shall pass too. That's I don't know who said that, but I've heard this quote everywhere. And, saying that this shall pass too. Everything is temporary. Pain is temporary. So if I go burn my finger on the stove like you did when you were a kid, and you said hot, last week. Right? And you didn't want to do it again, but you knew that pain, it went away, right? Mm-hmm. Every pain, it's temporary. Everything is temporary. It'll all go away. So you have to understand that this pain is not forever. It may seem like it is going on forever and it is so dreadful, but it's not going to last forever. It will last longer if you allow yourself to stay in that position. And I do this, okay? Sometimes I do this. So you know how sometimes you get sad and you're like, okay, I'm gonna listen to some sad music.
Oh, you get in the feels. You just find it. You wish it's raining outside. You're like just sitting in the rain listening.
Yeah, so you can just be like music. Usher in the music video and just dancing, and it's good to
that visual was everything.
Yeah, it's good to do that, but at the same time, you can't stay in that position forever.
Acknowledging it and understanding and looking at it and being aware of it and sitting with it, like you said. Mm-hmm. But if you're incessantly doing that, then you're going to start realizing the more you're thinking about it and sitting in that and not really reconciling it, you're going to attract more types of situations that are going to self-fulfill what you're feeling negatively too. So again, it comes back down to balance and honoring your emotions, being aware of them, but really techniques we'll talk about even in this video of how you can start pulling yourself out of that, step by step too, which is the most important part.
Yeah, and going back to what you just said, you're talking about you were attracted. It goes back to law of attraction. If you're not familiar with the law of attraction is basically you are what you attract. So if you stay in this negative light, you're going to attract more negative light. But if you try to show gratitude and up your frequency, up your light in your life, you try to be more happy, then you will attract more. You will attract more abundance, more happiness. You will be, yeah, it's pretty much that.
You'll be prosperous, both in every sense.
I was trying to think of a big word. Yes, I was trying to think of a big word.
Trying to think of a big word.
Yeah, usually this is where I cut it out and I say the big word. Yeah, that is the most important, is to show gratitude for what you do have, not what you don't have.
Right. And I think sometimes too, just picking up off gratitude, it's something to be careful of when we say that, because people are like, well, if I'm in this really awful place, what do I have to be grateful for? Right. That's something that I've asked myself in the past. Everything just feels so heavy. You're like, is there actually anything good? Is there actually? And there is. And that's the whole practice of gratitude. And it's maybe even just being grateful to yourself that you're even asking yourself that question, because then it leads you down a path to start really uncovering some of the feelings you have. But it's in asking and there are still things to be grateful for. Like, okay, hey, I'm grateful that I'm honoring that I feel like crap today.
Mm-hmm.
That could be it. That's still a form of gratitude. That's still a form of self-love.
Mm-hmm.
That's still showing up for yourself, and you can be grateful for that. It doesn't have to be these big, like, elusive things like that everyone talks about when we talk about gratitude. It's
Mm-hmm.
really the most simplest, like, okay, I'm breathing. I'm here. It's hard. I'm acknowledging that it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
That might have been hard for me to even say to myself a year ago. I'm grateful I could actually admit that to myself today.
Yeah.
You know, things, it doesn't have to be this huge kind of thing that people, you know, when people talk about gratitude, it's like, it's just write these things and you have to do it. And it's kind of very forced and not, you know, like intentional and heartfelt, but there's gratitude to be felt in moments that feel like it's abandoned you, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
It never abandons you. There's always something to be thankful
it's
for.
the little things that add up. You know,
Mm-hmm.
even if it's so much as, yeah, like you said, I'm breathing, I'm here today, I'm in the present moment. That is something to be grateful for. You know, there's some people that aren't here. You know, there's also people that don't have a roof. You know, there's people that don't have a chair. There's people that don't have a laptop. There's some people that don't have a phone. You know, there's a lot to be grateful for.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And even if you don't put the focus on like other people, I think that's sometimes where we get caught up, where we're like, I should feel grateful because I have a roof and someone doesn't. And then that could be a whole trap too for you if you're not like in a good place where you're like, well, now I feel bad that I'm feeling bad that I have this thing that someone else doesn't, right? So again, it's that balance and really just making sure like in your own practice of gratitude, if you're in this space, that you're focusing on like things that are important to you that you have intangibly or tangibly right now for you, so that you don't kind of get caught up in that rabbit hole. What I'm trying to say is this self-permission to not feel those other things. Like really try to keep your gratitude contained in the moments where you're at kind of your all-time low, and keep it simple, like you said. Like it doesn't have to be I can breathe and someone's dead. It's just I'm grateful I can breathe, period.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it could be something just so little. It doesn't have to be extensive. Just showing gratitude allows the universe to give you what you deserve. You know,
absolutely.
You attract what you deserve. A lot of people don't understand that, and some people,
or what you think you deserve.
What you think you deserve. Yeah. Some people, they think I deserve so much, right? I'm not getting that. I'm so positive. I'm so this. I'm so that, but they don't attract it because deep down they're not grateful for what they do have. Like I'm famous, you know. I have, you know, I have 100 subscribers.
You're living all your dimensional lives. You've got a Ferrari.
Famous.
You're like traveling the world. Yeah, I'm with you. I think I'm meeting you in Costa Rica in my mind right now.
Oh yeah, we're just sitting on there. We're having our
sipping my drink on a beach. You know, life is good. Doing our flow dance like this on the beach. Life is good. It's not even in a spiritual context. Sometimes I always love this topic of how to talk to people in ways that they understand, right? So sometimes people think like law of attraction is spiritual or woo-woo or whatnot, but there is science behind it. There's psychology behind things. There's spirituality and religion behind things. There's medicine behind things. So you really can talk about these concepts in like any of the ways, but ultimately from even just like a scientifical neuro-linguistic program type of like brain structure, it is scientifically proven that you can redo your brain, recreate your brain, change pathways, rearrange things, connect old experiences you might have had that are traumatizing or negative. You can connect those to new experiences, and all through the way you think and the way you program your subconscious. So people speak all different types of languages, like quite literally, but also just in terms of how they understand things. So it's okay all the ways is I guess the point. There's so many ways you could talk about this, but the ultimate kind of bottom line is, like we said, that the way you think really does affect your life. It really does affect your self and soul development, right? So it starts with a desire for you to want to change, or a desire for you to be aware of what you're feeling. It really is just, you are the epicenter of you, really. It starts with you, no matter what kind of language we're speaking, to do the work. Because there comes a point that no matter what's happened or is happening, you have to kind of step up and take it in and own it and say that I am responsible for either creating this or for causing this or being a part of this or attracting this, or somehow this is related to a thought or thoughts that I've had at one point or another in my life that have created this situation, that has created the feelings that I'm feeling. But until you're ready to take that accountability, like, I truly don't think that there's going to be room for growth, because it starts with that awareness and saying, okay, I somehow created this, but the power and the empowerment comes from saying, okay, if I could create that somehow, guess what? I can also uncreate it, and I can actually change it so I feel better.
I like to look at life. Me personally, I look at life as more of a track race. Every so often you'll have a hurdle, and whether you go over that hurdle, that is your thought, what you put into it, your effort you put into it to get over that hurdle. You hit the hurdle, okay, keep going. There's gonna be another one. Keep going. Boom. There's another one. If you fall, get up. There's another one. You're going to always have something, an obstacle in your way. But as long as you keep going, that is the best part. That is the beauty of it. Whether you make it over the hurdle or not, you go under the hurdle, you find a way past the hurdle.
Yeah. And it just gives you permission for yourself. When you know that, and you have full faith of those ups and downs and those hurdles, and you know that they're going to be there, it kind of gives you permission to then just ride that when it comes. Like, you already are prepared mentally for those situations. And like, one of my favorite analogies is the idea of a trampoline, right? Like, you've ever jumped on a trampoline, you see when you jump on it, the bottom of it goes down, it almost touches the ground. That's like kind of where you're at in the dark space in this metaphor, right? You're touching the ground, you've hit rock bottom, you're like below the surface here. But what happens inevitably on the trampoline is it literally takes you going down that way to spring you up so that you're flying 2 seconds later. You know what I mean? Like, so there's also that symbolism of, like, after the downs, there is the ups. It's understanding that it's not always going to be perfect. Things aren't always going to be easy. It's not going to be smooth sailing. It's okay to feel whatever you're feeling, as long as you are aware and know that. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It gives you a little bit of permission to be like, all right, I can feel all the feels without feeling guilty, or like I shouldn't be feeling this way, or something's wrong with me for feeling this way when I should be so positive and happy and just smiling and doing all these things. No, it's not the right message.
Yeah, everyone on social media is. Everyone's smiling.
It's their trailer of
happy.
Their life.
They look happy, right? And it makes you feel like your life is less than their life. In reality, behind the camera, they go like this. They just they go back to that, understand that it's okay, and take a step away, like, just reflect on everything that we've said. It's more so like, eliminate distractions, understand that you're okay, and
and that you're on your own journey. It's like comparison, for what you just said. Like, one of my favorite quotes too is, comparison is the thief of all joy, right? Because the truth is, you can't compare yourself to that person you see smiling on social media. You don't know the truth once they turn the camera off. Like you said, the only person that you should be comparing yourself to as a benchmark is you, because you and your experiences, my experiences, like, even though I can try to empathize and understand, or maybe even something has happened the same to both of us in our lives, even in that case, I still will never truly understand what it is you've actually went through, even if we were put in the same exact experience in our life. And that's what it comes down to, and why we shouldn't be comparing ourselves to anybody. We're all walking a journey that we're just these specks in this freaking, like, universe, like these little individual dots that make up the universe. And without you, even you just as a speck in all of it, without you, that would cause cosmic change. Like, so
literally,
you have to focus on you, because that's all you have to work with. You are your muse. You don't know anyone else's situation the way they don't know yours. So don't compare yourself. It's a slippery slope with social media, because I think there's so many positive messages and people doing real, authentic, cool, healing work and sharing valuable knowledge that isn't so mainstream. But I definitely think that there has to be, again, that level of self-awareness and balance, right? You're not on social media 24 hours a day. You're using it as a tool. You're using it to listen to things that are going to help change your thoughts in a positive way, give you new insights, also challenge some things that you already think, right? It's always good to not just follow people that we agree with. We all need different perspectives to be able to figure out how things work and figure out what we actually believe or don't. So I think there's a constructive way to use social media, but I definitely think that you have to be careful with it as well.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it, and I could talk all day about it. I would just say, more so, focus on yourself. A lot of people They don't want to offend the other people around them for taking time to themselves. Understand, I just want to say this before this gets really long because we'll talk all day.
Yeah.
So I want to say this. Understand that if you are not okay, you can't help the other people around you be okay. So have you straight first. I can't be the person I am and give to other people if I'm not okay. That's where it all comes down to. Like, some people, they take care of their family. You know what I'm saying? How can you take care of your family if you're not okay? A lot of people think, oh, it's selfish. No, I gotta think about them first. No, listen, you are the person that needs to be okay, so you can help other people. You come first.
100%.
Everyone needs to understand this. You right there.
Yeah.
You right there. You are first before everyone else, because you can't do what you need to do to help other people if you're not straight. I'm so biased. Like I say anything you gotta do to be alone. I'm so biased on that. Maybe it's because I'm an introvert. I mean, maybe
I didn't get introvert.
I'm an introvert.
Those moves
at
don't
heart.
Scream introvert. Those dance moves don't scream introvert to me.
Oh, trust me. I can go to a party and I can just dance on the dance floor and be awful. But so I truly feel like nobody can help you get out of a situation. And hear me out on this, like a lot of people say, oh, my boyfriend, my girlfriend can help me. No, I mean, they can guide you,
support you.
They can support you, right? But they can't literally physically pick you up and take you out of that. No, they can't. Mm-hmm. You're the only one that can take you out of that position. So take yourself seriously and take the time alone and understand and try to work on that, because they can't get you out of that situation. Only you can, because you are number one. And that's
and taking time to be alone doesn't equate to being lonely, right? Like sometimes people can get that confused, but sometimes when you take the time to be alone, that's where you find when you can figure some of your stuff out when you're alone. That's when you find you'll attract actually more people to support you, to love you, to show up for you. It's kind of this weird situation where the more you do something for yourself, the more of that good thing you'll attract, because you're making space for people who then will love you, who will help you, who will guide you into your life as you are alone working through this. So it's the catch-22. You might be alone through this process, but you'll come out of it at the end more supported, feeling more guided, feeling more just loved and hugged and supported.
It all comes down to who you're around as well. You gotta watch your crowd, because like you said, you can attract a better crowd. It all comes down to who you hang out with. If the people around you make you feel horrible, they make you do stupid things, they only want to see you do stupid things, they want to see you smoke, they want to see you drink all the time. Like that's all they're like, all they do is, hey yo, you trying to go do this? You trying to hit up a party? No, I'm like, nah, I want to chill. I'm
gonna read a book.
Yeah, I want to read a book. I want to expand my mind. And you also got to look at it as, what is that person teaching you? Are they teaching you anything? Are you learning anything from that person? Are they helping you grow? Or are you the only one expanding them? Are you the only one teaching them? So everything comes back to you. Understand that people around you in your circle, they may not really be in your circle. So you got to understand that too. Like literally evaluate everything in your life, your friends, your loved ones, your family, evaluate everyone. Evaluate who truly deserves to be in your life, because just because they have the same blood as you doesn't mean they're family. You can have some family that can just treat you awful, and that's not something family does. You can meet somebody out on the street and have more of a family bond with them than you do with your blood, So just because they're your blood, don't try to lower your energy, lower it to them just so they can be in your life and suck up your energy.
I think that's like a natural evolution process. The more you go through this growth process, you'll start to naturally see some of these relationships will fall off. There might be something that happens where maybe you're not hanging out anymore, and it's organic. It doesn't have to be like, all right, I'm cutting you out of my life. You'll start to see that everything, when you're in a flow and when you're in a constant state of development and you have the right intention and you have the purest of heart and you're really doing it the right way for you, you'll see some of this naturally just occurs by the nature of your growth. So yes, you might lose a few people. You might not hang out with a few people. You might see that you're actually arguing more, for example, with certain people, which is a sign of growth. It might seem like, why am I fighting with this person? But really, that's a true sign of growth. It means you've raised in a level of consciousness that they can't quite understand what you're trying to say or where you're at. So it's just a natural evolution. And some of these things that might look negative on the outside, they're actually like a clap of hands, like, good job, like, you keep doing you and growing, and that will all resolve itself the way it's supposed to resolve itself. You don't have to be concerned with, like, I need to cut this person out, I need to do this, like, don't talk to me anymore. No, again, that's putting all your attention on the external and other things instead of putting that energy to be like, what can I do for myself? And the rest of that will fall out as it needs to by itself.
I would go ahead and say that, remember, just take time to yourself, reevaluate the people around you, understand that this is okay, this is just a hurdle, or this is just a straight line, and you're going to end up going down or up. This is just like a trampoline, you're going to go down and up. Understand that this is temporary. Everything is temporary, and it's okay to feel sad, but it's okay to also feel gratitude to little things. So there's a lot that you can do. I hope that you got some good information out of this video. If there's anything you want to say before...
No, I would just say you're doing a great job. I know it might feel hard. It might feel like, what the heck am I doing? What is life? You might have all these existential questions, but that's all normal. Everything you're feeling is normal. You're normal. You're a human being just trying to be and understand. And that's quite literally your purpose, is just to continuously try to seek understanding and show love to yourself in the process. So focus, again, back on you through that lens.
Yeah, and in my view, you are doing okay. You are actually doing very great, because you clicked on this video. You have clicked on this video. You want to get better, and that, for you, I applaud you. I applaud you, and I thank you for watching this video. And if you made it this far, go ahead, hit the subscribe button on both of our channels. If you haven't already, hit the bell so you never miss a self-growth video from Jer, and you never miss a bedtime with Bay. I'm biased with that one. I love that one, but all the other videos are great as well. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe. If you do enjoy the video, do that for me. Like the video. Anyways, guys, stay happy, stay healthy, stay exquisite. Peace.
Yes.